Hello and welcome to Feed the Beast Creations, where I show you all the wonderful things that I've made in Feed the Beast. Today we are going to be looking at a way to generate power, EU power, from potatoes. Before I start, I would like to say this is not a serious suggestion for generating power, as generally it's fairly terrible. It's more just a novelty idea from the fact it's generating power from potatoes. Okay. The concept behind the power generation is the fact you get a methane cell produced when you centrifuge potatoes, and the methane cell will give you 45,000 EU, and it costs 25,000 EU to actually centrifuge it, so you will get an excess of 20,000 EU every 16 potatoes you centrifuge. There are 4 parts to this power plant. The first part is the production of bone meal, which is used to grow potatoes. The potatoes are then sent off to the centrifuging part, which then centrifuges them into methane cells, and then the methane cells are then put into gas turbines, which generate power. To generate the bone meal, I've got 2 tier 5 skeleton soul shards spawners, and they simply fall into this setup of transposers, and the drops are picked up. The drops are then sorted through the arrows and bones. The arrows get incinerated, and the bones are auto-crafted into bone meal using this thing called a fabricator, which is from Zycraft, which is a lot more effective than an auto-crafting table, as was suggested to me by somebody in the comments in the last video. And the filter then pulls out the bones and is sent off to the extreme auto grower. This device here will quite clearly grow potatoes. It does this with a deployer to plant them, then a deployer above to bone meal them, and then a block breaker to harvest them. This all runs off a timer with repeaters at certain intervals, which then means they all go off at the same time. No, at the right time, sorry. Excess potatoes are then sent through here. Well, not excess. Excess potatoes go down here, but then it also refills the deployers that have been used to plant them. The centrifuges, which are used to produce the methane from the potatoes, need to have all 4 sides having something done with them. So potatoes come in from the top, and they come from the extreme auto grower. You also need a supply of cells, which come in from the bottom. This supply of cells does not need to be restocked, as they're all completely recycled through the system. So you'll just need to input some at the start, and then they will keep getting reused. You also need to input power, which is done through the middle side bit. And obviously, because these things run off power, you will need some sort of power to get these things started. But once it's got started, it will be completely sustainable. And then also the methane cells are then taken out by transposers and sent off to the gas turbines. The gas turbines only have things done with them on 3 sides. The methane cell comes in from the top. The power, which these things generate at 16 EU per tick, that power will be taken out from the sides and sent to wherever you want it to go. Here, in this case, I've got it going to this back to the centrifuges and to this MFSU here. And also the cells are taken out from the inside middle bit via transposers again, and then sent back to the centrifuges. And if you're interested in the MFSU, here it is. If you don't take power out of this system, then a lot of methane cells will build up, because obviously that only requires a certain amount of energy and excess is created. So yeah, be wary of that. That could cause a lot of lag. As a note here, that sounded weird, but these centrifuges and gas turbines will need multiple layers if you're going to be doing this in reality, as one of these layers isn't very effective on its own. If you had about 10, then it could be classed as a half decent power supply, and 10 is an awful lot. So yeah, the total power generated from one of these layers is 192 EU per tick. The power needed to run the centrifuges is 100 EU per tick, which means you have an excess of 92 EU per tick, which isn't very much, is it? So as I was saying, you will need around 10 of these layers before it even becomes slightly productive power source, and that's going to need an awful lot of space and resources. So generally, as I said at the start, this isn't a serious suggestion for power. It's more just a novelty idea. So that wraps up the episode, guys. If you have anything to say about this design other than the fact it's useless, because I already know that, please put it in the comment section. And at this point I would also like to say that I am going on holiday next week, so I won't be active on the channel, and it also means I've had to record 2 episodes of this, 2 weeks worth, and also a mini episode in 1 week, and that's the reason there wasn't an episode last week, because I would have had to do 3 episodes instead of just 2, and that would have driven me insane. So I'm sorry about that, but there's nothing I could have done if I wanted to go on holiday, which I do. So see you next time, guys. Take care.